Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. And I have made this box for the Project Share blog hop with my friends Jill, Jez and Verity. We share each other's projects every Thursday, and once a month we also create a new project on a theme and do a blog hop together. So our theme for this month is masculine, and I have just received delivery of these Abundant Beauty decorative masks. I didn't order them in my first pre-order because I only really saw the sunflowers masks when it was in the catalogue. So there's masks that layer up with these sunflowers, and so there's 3 layers to that, and also some leaves to go along with that. So that's mask number 1. It's got a 1 up in the corner there and a little notch. So you ink that one up, take it away, line, so you would do a little pencil mark. I probably will use these on a video sometime soon, but in the meantime, that's number 2. Then this one's number 3, and this one will be number 4. Okay, so you can build up quite a detailed sunflower, which I did think was nice, but I thought one trick pony, not really sure I wanted that. However, the set also includes this fabulous snowflakes one, which I can't wait to use, and all of these leaves, acorns, so that will be getting some autumnal inking very soon. And the one that I used to decorate my box, which is this houndstooth or dog's tooth, whichever you prefer to call it. Okay, so yeah, this set of masks is available in the September to December mini catalogue, which launches on the 6th of September 2023. So very soon, when this video goes out. Let me just put those other ones away. And the stamp set that I used to decorate this is called Phrases for All, and just love that huge big happy birthday. But we've also got a congrats, thank you with all my heart, and lots of little sentiments and little hearts to go along with that as well. So there's a huge amount of combinations of that. But as I say, I like that big bold happy birthday, and I thought this looked fairly masculine, but to be honest it's pretty neutral, so I hope I get away with it, girls. And I was a little bit inspired by a vintage style box that Jez made recently, so I've given it a little bit of extra inking on the corners, just where it would possibly in reality get a little bit more grubby, and inside it's got bar of soap. It's a nice little masculine gift. It is a masculine soap. It is moss and amber. So I made that one for our blog hop. I am now going to make a different one with different colours. So this one is pecan pie and crumb cake card with pecan pie ink on it. So I'm going to change that to smoky slate and basic grey, and I'll put the ink onto the smoky slate basic grey ink. Got that set up there. So need to do a bit of trimming first of all. Right, so my base, the darker one, and I've just taken these out of my scraps pile, so I'm actually hoping that they're big enough. I haven't checked. Yeah, we're fine. So I want that to be 5 1/4, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. And my ink pad's in the way. 7 1/4. Let's bring that down a little bit. Like that. I'm set up too close to myself. Right, there we go. So 7 1/4 there. Okay, so that's me done my cutting on that. I want to score that at 1 1/2 inches. On all 4 sides. Okay, so that's the base done. My lid, I want to be 6 5/16. So that is essentially 6 1/4 and then a tiny little bit more. So I'm just going to line it up on my trimmer with that bit there. Okay, so yeah, I do need to keep that out. So that's 6 1/4 and just that little smidge more. And it's just so that the box lid isn't too tight. So 6 5/16 by 4 5/16. So again, going to the quarter and then just that next short line there. Okay, and this one I only want to score at 1 inch on all 4 sides. So I can put that back in. There we go, 1 inch, 1 inch, and last one at 1 inch. Okay, so we're done. I was concerned that doing my score lines first and then doing the mask might not look terribly great, but it's fine, and it's kind of grungy looking anyway, so it doesn't really matter, does it? So I do want to make sure that I've got this as straight as I possibly can, and it is a very neat fit. In fact, it slightly doesn't fit. It's slightly too long, but I'm not too bothered. And I'm sticking that down on the back, just making sure that that is nice and straight. It possibly could go a little bit further over. I want to get as much of it inked as I possibly can. Right, so that's good there. And we're straight-ish. Looks good. There we are. So that's stuck there. What I also want to do is just stick it down to this messy bit of grid mat, so nothing's gonna move. But I'm not covering up any of the bit of card there. It's got a nice wide margin so that you don't need to do anything special there. Right, so basic ray. I went pretty heavy-handed on this. That's a lot of ink. A on that. We'll see how this one goes. I might have to do the same. So just inking this brush up. Get a decent amount of ink on to start with. And then just start piling it on. It's looking good. You will naturally have lighter and darker bits. You can obviously go back in and add a little bit more ink. Not so easy to take it off. Okay, we're getting there. Turn that around. And I'm trying not to get ink all over my fingers, because I kind of did with my first one. Trying to do lessons learned. But hey, if you haven't got ink on your fingers, have you even been crafting? It washes off eventually. I do find some colours do just stick around a bit too long. Normally red, and it looks like you've committed some kind of massacre. Anyway. Right, I think we've got a good coverage on all of that. Time for the reveal. Let me close that for now. Do need it again, but take that off, and then we can see lovely, and it does go pretty close to the end there, so that's fab. And to wash that, I will just simply run it under the tap. Okay, let's get all the bits of washi off. Not bad. Not bad at all. I will keep that because I do want to add a little bit more once I have built it. So the other bit I want to do is to stamp the happy birthday. We'll just get all of the bits ready, and then we can do the quick and easy assembly, and then add a little bit more ink just to grungify it. Don't know if that's a word. Doubt it. Not bothered. It is now. There we go. Happy with that. And again, I cut it with one of the deckled rectangles. But as you will see, it's bigger than it needed to be. So I cut it twice. So I'm going to line it up along with the bottom of the sentiment, like that. Get a bit of that washi tape back. And I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine just now. There we have it. Okay, and then take that off, get my washi back. I am going to put the edge of my die where I want it along the top of the sentiment, like so, and just run it back through again. I'm just trying to make sure that I've got it lined up at the edge. There we are. Just take that off. And there we go. It's a much better fit, isn't it? So let's do our burnishing, a little bit of cutting, and glue this together. That's that one burnished. And we just want to do a little bit of cutting on these. So I'm just cutting straight up on that score line, and then I'll just take a little wedge off either side, and I'll do that on all 4 corners. And while I'm doing that, I will remind you that this video is part of a blog hop. So please do click on the description for this video. You'll get a link to my blog, and then you'll be able to just click on the next button to go and see what the other 3 ladies have created if you're looking for more masculine project inspiration. And our ladies are super talented. So it's Jill of Paper Daisy Crafting, Verity of Inky Butterfly, and Jez of Nigeza Creates. As I say, I share something that they have created every Thursday. And it's probably my most difficult blog post of the week because I can never just pick one thing to share. They all have such fabulous projects, and they're all very different in styles. Jez is very much into her vintage and junk journaling these days. So I've picked up so many tips and tricks from watching her video on how to make things look older than they really are. Jill is our queen of clean and simple. She is a perfectionist. So if that's your favourite style, then definitely check her out. And Verity is just wonderful. She so creative, so inventive, and I'm forever wanting to buy things just because Verity has used it and made me think I need to have it. Which is what you want from a demonstrator, really, isn't it? So I'm just gluing these 4 tabs and folding that up, just so we get a nice neat angle there. Last 2 I will put glue on at the same time. One and 2. I don't have another bar of soap to put in this one, but never mind. I'm sure I will find something pretty or useful to go inside. I've just got a little bit extra glue coming out there. Just folding that, burnishing those tabs just to make sure that they're well and truly stuck. Now, top tip, fold your lid around your box. So again, glue on your tab, do your first one without it, like that. Give that a press, and then if you build your lid around your box, you know it's not going to be too tight. You will get your lid off and on nice and easily. That extra 1/16 in my measurements should do the trick, but just in case. There we are. Those two, pop them down. Get that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. And then just fold that over. Again, you want to make sure you've got nice neat edges. Like that. And then you can take that one out. Ooh, give them a good press, but don't do that. Just put that back in, make sure we're fine. We're fine. We're all good. All good. Right. Now I did notice I've gone a little bit astray on that. Can you see it? There's a little bit of an overhang. I've not got that corner nice and neat as I should have. So we'll just fix it. A little slither off and we're done. Right, so lid on the box, easy peasy. Let's just add a little bit more ink. Bring that piece back and just a little bit more at the edges. If you've got a sponge dauber, you might want to use that. It might be easier than just using your brush, but I'm lazy and I've got ink on my brush. I'm just going to use it. Okay, and we'll do the same on here. Just little bits on the corners, on the edges, where a box would get some natural wear and tear. As I say, this was inspired by a box that Jez had created, which brought back so many memories of, I think she put paper clips in hers, but my dad used to have boxes with washers and all sorts of weird and wonderful things in his garage and hut. A hut's a garden shed, in case you don't call it a hut. Yeah, and they were always oil stained and grubby looking, but his pride and joy, bless him. So, last wee bit, some bobs of ink. I think these little details always take more time than some of the actual construction. Which is why I admire Jez's patience. Truly do. Right, a little bit more ink on this bit. And on my original, I used some rustic dots. What are they called? What are they called? Did have them sitting about. Sorry. Rustic metallic adhesive backed dots on this one. Kind of like little rivets on the corner of this little sentiment. Not so little sentiment, it's quite big, eh? Right, so let's pop that in middle-ish off there. Okay. So those are kind of brassy coloured and did go with the browns beautifully. But I thought I would do something, I'd need to use something different for the grey version. And I don't have anything. So I have picked out the Festive Pearls, and I have coloured the green ones. I've coloured 3 of them with Smoky Slate Stampin' Blend, the dark version of that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a 4th one so you can see. I'm just simply putting that ink on there. I'll let it dry and then go over it and give it another coat. And just build that up so you can see the difference between the green ones and the grey ones there. Just helps tone it in a little bit more. And because it's alcohol ink, it doesn't take long to dry. And then I can just pop them in the corners. And there we have it. We have 2 masculine houndstooth decorated gift boxes. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I'd love for you to click on that subscribe button. Click on the bell and you'll get notifications the next time I upload a tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Remember and click the description to check out the blog hop.